What's good, YouTube? It's Team ARG's Ryan Levine here, coming at you with another top 32 deck profile from YCS Niagara.
Another one.
He played Thunder Dragons this weekend, and this is his deck.
Yeah. So I played Thunder Dragons. I thought this deck was kind of cool, and I think every OCG build of this deck was just like really bad or like didn't make any sense. And every deck I saw everyone else play just didn't make sense and seemed bad. So I played something a little different. 3 Thunder Dragon, like 3 of all the good ones, even Roar.
They're all good.
Yeah, they're actually just all good. There's a card on my main deck that combos really well with Roar, so everyone else was sneak peek. Everyone else was building this deck and played 2 Roar because they said it was bad to draw. So we just played a bunch of cards that made Roar good to draw, basically. So the normal summons, those are all the Thunder Dragons, three of all of them. 2 Gemini Amber, we played Brilliant Fusion in this deck, and this is Thunder. And it's better than Tourmaline. Like, you can't use Tourmaline, you need Amber specifically, because Colossus can only be made with an effect monster. So you can set Amber, and it's a Gemini, and it's only treated as a normal if it's face up on the field. So you can set it and then tribute it to make a Colossus. Otherwise, you just link it away to make the Summer guy. 2 Denko, I expected a lot of Striker. I played a lot of Striker. Every time I drew this, it was insane. But I also kind of feel like sometimes you don't beat Striker because you don't draw this card, so that's maybe 3, maybe 0, depending on how the meta shifts. 2 Solar, because 3 Brilliant Fusion, and these cards do very similar things. And in fact, this card was just literally atrocious every time I drew it. That sounds really dumb, but it's not even like a win more card. It's just like, it's the only card in the deck that can get Ogred, so if they have Ogre, they're Ogring it every time, and then you just activated normal summonable Foolish Burial, and even if it resolves, like, they have to have literally no response for it to do anything. So I would just much rather be using my normal summon on Denko, and actually a lot of the time, Amber, if you just draw Amber, it's a Thunder, and you just make the Summer guy with it. These 2 cards do the same thing a lot of the time, unfortunately. Like, it's just, there are very specific, like, simplified game states where you can search this off of Fusion, and, like, if they have nothing, you just kill them, but that happens so rarely. What I think sets this deck apart from most of what most other people are playing is Brilliant Fusion. So, I don't summon Seraph Knight. I actually don't even play Seraph Knight. We tried it, but it had too much extra space, and it was only in situations where you drew specifically Denko, Battery Man, Seraph Knight, and then you still made really awkward fields. Was Gem Knight Prismora. So this is Gem Knight plus any Thunder, and its other effect is you can discard a Gem Knight to destroy a face-up card on the field. So if you draw the extra Amber that you play, which we play 2 because there's a Desires in this deck, if you draw the second Amber, you can pitch it with Prismora to pop a face-up card. So sometimes you draw like Brilliant Amber and you just pop like a multi-roll or something if you go second. It's nice that it's not a vanilla. But what makes it really good is it's a Thunder Fusion. So it's basically just better instant fusion. It's just like marginally better instant fusion. So the main combos are like Brilliant Fusion and Hawk. Like, you Brilliant Fusion and then you send Roar, and then you just Hawk back Roar. And it's like marginally worse than Solar because you don't make a token, but it's like incredibly similar. So I'm still okay with that being the combo. But Brilliant Fusion and then just hard drawing Roar. You send Matrix off of the Brilliant Fusion, and then you just banish Prismora and Dragon Roar to make Titan, and then you get Dark from your deck, and then you just start linking from there, and then it ends on triple Colossus, which is like what you usually try to do. Like, you try to get, it wastes a lot of your resources, which I'll get into how to come back from that in a minute, but you basically put everything on the table, and then they usually can't beat it, and if they can beat it, their hand was so insane it didn't matter what you did. I just find like making 3 Colossus is like the other, that's what you do. I think the best board is 2 Colossus and Titan. So for that, 3 Thunder Dragon Fusion. This is a card that, based on how the deck works, I think you want to play as many of these as possible. A lot of your cards, like Brilliant Fusion, Solar, Gold Sark, I'll get to in a second, they just all give you redundant access to the same cards, and they're all hard once per turn. So like, another reason I played only 2 Solar is like, if you have Brilliant and Solar, like, it's like, it does something crazy, but it's basically the same as Brilliant and Amber. Like, the Solar gives you a token you don't really use, and like the thing you send off Solar doesn't matter because Brilliant Fusion already sent something. I'd just rather like Denko, they can't play anything. So if you go second, like Denko Brilliant Fusion is just like a trillion damage and they die. So when you when you use everything to make 3 Colossus, you really won't want to draw Thunder Dragon Fusion to put everything back. You put back like 2 Colossus and then maybe a guy that you need in your deck. Also, how a lot of the combos work. A lot of the 2-card combos aren't as great as the 3-card combos, like obviously, but the 2-card combos generally have 2 different lines where you can search either Hawk or Fusion, and a Hawk gives you a second Colossus, and a Fusion gives you a Titan. So you can end on either Colossus, Titan. And having more access to searchers doesn't actually matter because Dark is a hard once per turn. So you need to hard draw Fusion or you need to hard draw Hawk to make the combos like really, really good. So I think maxing out on both is just fine. And this card is just also like, if you just resolve this and you don't win and they don't kill you, on your turn you banish it, just search Denko, and then you win. Or if they're not playing a back row deck, you search Hawk and then they die. 3 Gold Sark. It sounds weird to say, but this card is like, in this deck especially, where there's like Brilliant Fusion and as I mentioned, like redundant access, a lot of the time, like a lot of hands in this deck, you just can't activate this card. Like they're all hard ones per turns, and if you draw like any of the 2-card combos, if you draw like Instant Fusion Roar, like Brilliant Fusion Hawk, Brilliant Fusion Roar, Solar Hawk, like any of those things, then you already have, the combo already goes through Roar, Hawk, and Dark, so you just can't banish anything of value other than Matrix, which like isn't really a good use of this card. Like if this card could banish something else to like, if this was able to actually just like search Fusion if you didn't have it, like, and you still search Hawk, it'd be great, but I don't know. I think you still need to play it because it's just like a consistency card, but this, like, drawing Gold Sark is worse than drawing the actual Thunder Dragons because you have to use a Thunder Dragon effect. Like, you have to banish Dark to search Hawk, which means you can't darken your combo, or you have to banish Roar to summon a guy, which means your Hawk isn't really getting any value, and it just kind of cuts down on a lot of what you can do. But as I said, like, that doesn't mean it's bad. It's just like, it's not actually like the best card ever in this deck. It is just the only card that does something off of only 1 card. 2 Desires. We kind of got low on space. Like when I was first building this, I just couldn't find anything to make it 40. And then as like the Brilliant Fusions came in and we put more stuff in, then the Desires, yeah, there wasn't really enough room for 3. I don't think I really want, like, I mean, it's just me being dumb. Like mathematically, I guess you should play 3, but I can't really defend this, so I'm just gonna. And the hand traps, 3 Ash, 2 Impermanence. Because again, running low on space. This is just the hand trap that will do something against every deck, basically. And then this was mainly for the mirror. I wasn't really sure how the mirror was gonna go. I don't think this card is that great, like, by itself, but in the mirror, Titan can trigger off your opponent's Thunder effects. So if you make Titan in the mirror, or if your opponent has a Titan in the mirror, every time you play anything, they get to trigger their Titan and pop your card. So you literally can't play Thunder effects until you have only Colossus and Titans that like can't be destroyed. And it's really hard to get to that point when you can't play Thunder effects. Like you usually like make the Link 2 and then activate a hand effect to reborn a guy, they just pop your Link 2, then you're back at square one. So you kind of need these just to turn off your opponent's Titan. Titan is more of an issue than Colossus. Extra deck, Prismora as I mentioned. For the Brilliant Fusion, I played Haminari and Thousand Eyes. This is for going second in the mirror. Basically, you force out Titan or you take Colossus or something. 3 Titan with 3 Thunder Dragon Fusion and the Brilliant Fusion to start all your combos. Like most of your combos start with like Brilliant Fusion, Banish Roar, Brilliant Fusion, whatever. You go through, or Instant Fusion Roar, like you go through Titans faster. So I really wanted 3. So I would never be forced to put 1 back with my first Thunder Dragon Fusion. 3 Colossus, 2 Vacation. I'm not sure if you like need this, but it just lets you go a little bit longer, and we play Mind Control for the mirror, so when you Mind Control your opponent's guys, you need to go into Link better. Landful, this is for if you have to do an awkward Linkuriboh thing with Thousand Eyes, or something along those lines. Linkuriboh, Unicorn, and Summon Sorceress. So I think I summoned Summon Sorceress 1 time the entire tournament, and it never, by the time you make it, you've already used all of your effects. There is literally only 1 combo that I think, there are like 2 combos that need Summon Sorceress. One of them is just Batteryman Solar plus Hawk, which if you don't have Summon Sorceress, it doesn't matter. You just do something like marginally worse. It still ends on double Colossus Titan. You just don't get to search Matrix, which is like nice to have, but it's just not. It doesn't like make or break the deck. Then there's some really awkward ones where you draw like Battery Man, Brilliant Fusion, like another vanilla or another thunder monster you can't use, like Amber, and no discard effects. That's like the only other time you need Summon Sork. So like, and the only card I really wanted for the extra deck was Gustav Max. For time, and also with Gustav Max, you can very easily turn boards and you just double Titan, and then you attack for 64, and then Gustav Max is 2000, so it's game. And there were a lot of times where I ended on like Colossus Titan push, and then hope they can't win, but it's just better to actually kill them. So I'd probably cut this for Gustav Max. This card actually just doesn't, which is like, I'm even playing like more like combo cards like Brilliant Fusion, and this is just redundant. It doesn't give you access to any of the cards you don't already have access to. Like, you have to already be playing to make this. It just never happens. Side deck, Order, Triple Rivalry. I think like a lot of people were siding Kaiju's, Lava Golem, Sphere Mode, or whatever. So against most matchups, this is just already a good floodgate, and I just wanted it to stop those cards too. So you go like Colossus, Rivalry. You can't Lava Golem. They can only Kaiju if it's the Thunder Kaiju, which is in your advantage sort of, and then they can't Sphere Mode. Yeah, it's just, and then it's just already a floodgate against some of those decks. 3 Gamma. This and Driver. This was for going second against combo decks like the Danger deck, any Danger variant, Goki, Hero, just any deck that made Gumblar. We wanted this to just like hard stop, more or less. Super Poly. This was for the Mirror. This card is just not good. It's weird to say this card is just like not good, but like I just wish like this was the side for the Mirror with Super Poly 2, Mind Control 2, Medion. I wish Super Poly had just been a third of this, like. Calvin also played the same deck, and he played like a lot of mirrors, and he every time he played a mirror, he was like, Super Poly is awful, why is it in our deck? Like, people like play around it, they just don't make 3, and it's really hard to actually Super Poly for a Titan, like, and if you wanna just Super Poly 2 Colossus, you have to play like the Starving Venom thing. It's just, these cards are just, will always be playable no matter what stage of the game you are. Turn 1, turn 10, when you're top decking, it'll just always be good. This kind of also, I think in the future, like, it should just be 3/3 Mind Controls, maybe even Econ. Medion was like a cool card in that it's kind of a blowout, and it's like doesn't really care what your opponent's board is. They don't care if they have 2 or if they have 2 or 3 or whatever. So unlike Sphere Mode, Lava Golem, that's like only good if they have exactly that many. Or Super Poly, this is just no matter what they have, you many on them. And since this build specifically plays so many more ways to play without your normal summon, like Brilliant Fusion or whatever, like, you're not dependent on Solar going through to do anything. You can just Medion, shuffle their guys, Brilliant Fusion, Instant Fusion, Banish Roar, whatever. You just, and then 2 Twin. We basically just decided the Geist matchup is not nearly as bad as everyone says it is. Like, based on what you will read on the internet, Geist Thunder Dragon is like a 90-10 in Geist's favor. In reality, it's probably like a 70-30, like maybe even a little bit more. If Thunder Dragon goes first, like, the board that I usually try to make, and this deck makes pretty consistently, is Colossus Titan, and you'll hopefully have Matrix. Like, if you have like the random Gold Sark you didn't need because you just had like Brilliant Fusion and guys, you can just Gold Sark the Matrix, or Brilliant Fusion sends Matrix, so you search it anyway. You know what I mean? Like, this deck just gets there a lot. If they just summon Meliseek and then you pop it and they can't search, so like Meliseek outs Colossus, like it doesn't, you just kill it. And like they literally have to have Impermanence Faker Meliseek so they can Impermanence the Titan, summon Faker, get Silcoitus, bounce a Colossus, then summon the Meliseek. Like, they have to actually just draw like so specifically for it to actually just be like an auto win that just doesn't happen. So we didn't really side much for Geist, just twins that went in against Striker and then twins that went in against Geist. We cut the reboots in the side for cards for the Mirror. Yeah, there was a lot more mirrors than Geist in the room, so I think that was good. That's it for the deck, but I want to show like one cool combo that like these cards allow you to do. If you have Brilliant Fusion, Amber, Brilliant Fusion, Thunder Dragon, and then any other random Thunder monster. So usually it's Amber, because if it's like a better Thunder monster, then you have like a better play than this. But you can Brilliant Fusion for Prismora, and you send and you send Roar. It's in the top. So you send Roar and Amber, right? So you send Roar and Amber. You banish Amber and Prismora to make Titan, and then you Thunder Dragon for 1, and then you, if they have no response, which they usually don't, you chain Titan, pop itself, and then banish Roar and either the Thunder Dragon or the Amber you send off to the Brilliant Fusion, and then you trigger Roar, get Dark, and then just do it from there. And if you drew like Hawk, or if you drew Hawk, you just do something better. But if you drew like Thunder Dragon Fusion, just any of those other cards, you just end on the double Colossus Titan. Just by itself, it's double Colossus, but if you have any other like extra card, it's double Colossus Titan. So you can also do that with Batteryman Solar, but you need it's the same thing. This could also be Solar, but you have to. But with Batteryman, it burns through both the Thunder Dragons, and you have to also burn a Colossus, so you waste a lot more resources. With Brilliant Fusion, it's just a lot cleaner. That's kind of about it. I think that basically covers everything about the deck, why I wanted to play it, why I did so. I think this deck did really well. My top 32 loss was actually like really funny. He had last turn in time because I lost game 1 and then I won game 2 in time. So then we go to game 3 because we're in top cut because you can't draw. It was on his last turn of time. My board is Colossus, Titan, Titan. He summons a guy, econs me, and triple anchors and takes all of my guys. And I was really tilted. So I think this deck is good. I think if more mirrors are played and people are playing more like this, I think BLS is really good against the mirror, but not very good against other stuff, and like isn't good for like consistency in general. So I think going forward, BLS might be a little bit better because it's good against the mirror, but that's about all I got. Thunder Dragons with Brilliant Fusion.
Any shoutouts you want to make?
ARG team, Monster Protectors, Ophidian, the rest of the back of the shirt. I think that's all of them.
Very nice.
More. Yeah, that's about it.
All right,
oh, and Cap Cal, because he played the same deck but didn't know how to play it and lost. But anyway.
Sucks.